everyone, Jennifer Thiessen here, Artistic Director of Virtuosi Concerts. I'm very pleased to be here with Alice Macgregor, who is the young artist who will be performing in our next concert on April 2nd. That concert, the main group that's playing is the Griffin Trio from Toronto, and the concert starts at 7:30. There's also a toast beforehand at 6:45 because the whole concert is in celebration of the former artistic director's 30 years as founder and artistic director of Virtuosi Concerts. So the whole evening is a celebration of Harry Strub. We'll toast at 6:45. Alice is going to sing at 7:30, and then the Griffin Trio will continue the evening. So welcome, Alice. It's so great to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
So you're a student at the University of Manitoba, is that right?
Yes.
And you're from Newfoundland.
Correct.
Could you tell me more about how you ended up in Winnipeg?
Yeah, so my voice teacher at home was in high school was Cheryl Hickman. She was the director of, or is the current director of Opera on the Avalon. And in my grade 12 year, I was fortunate enough to travel all over the world for my undergrad auditions to universities. And most everywhere I went, including my voice teacher, Tracy Dahl was recommended to me as a voice teacher. I'm a coloratura soprano, so I do lots of agile runs and sing quite high, which is Tracy's specialty. And I thought, what better way to learn my craft with someone as amazing as Tracy. So she would be the main reason that I came here. I'd heard great things about U of M's program as well. They've got a great reputation for music theory, and they've got a great reputation for stage ensembles. But Tracy would have been the main reason that I came to Winnipeg.
And what has your experience been like? Because if you're in your third year, I guess your second and third years have been affected by pandemic restrictions. What has that experience been like?
Yeah, so I've had one normal semester of university in my first year, which would have been 2019. That was, I had moved away for the first time, being away from home for an extended period of time, 4 months. And then I came back after Christmas. In February, March, I guess, is kind of when COVID hit. Mm-hmm. And at that point, no one really knew what was going on. COVID was so new and more scary than it is now, I guess, with vaccines. So, the end of my year and first year was all kind of like a blur. It was just, things no one had really figured out how to navigate an online world yet. So the year kind of just stopped. But then as of second year, just everything was moved online. So all of my classes, I did music history and music theory. I did all of my lessons online. So Zoom just became a massive part of the degree. It wouldn't have been possible without that technology. Competitions were all online. So I had to get better at, finding spaces to record, singing with a mask, or if you didn't want to sing with a mask, then finding piano tracks and lining up your voice with a piano track instead of live music. It was just a massive adjustment. And now it's kind of, by my third year, like it's second nature. I don't even think about it. It's just kind of ingrained. You know how to sing with a mask. And restrictions are lifting a little now. So it's become a little more flexible with, most things at U of M now are in person, except for anything that can be online. So theory is still online, history is still online, but I do all of my singing in person, which is a massive change from last year, and one that I'm very grateful for.
Yeah, absolutely. And the whole collaborative element of playing together.
Yes.
Someone else. So singing with a pianist.
Yes.
I can't even imagine trying to line up a, kind of living musical interpretation with a pre-recorded track.
Yeah, it's not the best. It's not my preferred method, but that would allow you to sing without a mask,
Yeah.
which is also something that is much better than
Yeah.
singing with a mask. You've just got to decide which one you value more for whatever you're doing.
Yeah. So on Saturday, you'll be singing with a pianist, Megan
Yes.
Pratt. Can you
Megan
tell me more
Dufrat.
about Megan and how you know her, how you
Yeah,
started?
so I know Megan through the University of Manitoba. She's just an amazing pianist. She's a collaborative pianist. So plays for the oratorio seminar, which is a class I'm in with, which is taught by Mel Braun, who's the head of the voice department at the University of Manitoba. She plays for master classes. She's played for all of my competitions this year. So she's just, she's at U of M and is there to help anybody when they need it. She comes to my lessons sometimes to play my pieces so that Tracy can, sit back and work on things that she wouldn't notice if she was otherwise focused on playing the piano part.
So she would often in a lesson, otherwise Tracy would play piano while you sing.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's fascinating. And what are you singing on Saturday? Could you tell us about the piece and what it means to you, like what your relationship with it has been?
Yeah, so I'm gonna sing Io son quel gelsomino, which is by Vivaldi. It's from Arsilda Regina di Ponto, which was it's just an opera that he wrote. There's actually not much information on the actual opera. I think it's so old. It's a Baroque period piece. So I know that the plot was considered pretty controversial at the time because it was the first time that there were gender swaps in roles. So men would play women, women would play men, and that wasn't done a lot. But the piece is it's an aria. It's about Io son quel gelsomino translates to I am like the jasmine flower. So it's Miranda's aria. She's the main soprano in the opera. And she's just been, to my understanding, she's consoled one of the twins who there's like a set of twins whose mom is the queen, and it's a pair of twins. One is a boy and one's a girl, and the girl has never experienced love before. She's kind of more innocent, whereas Miranda is older and she's had a lot more experience. So right before Miranda's aria, she's just been telling the female twin of her experience with love. And then the aria that I'm singing is right before Act 2. It closes Act 1. And it's just basically her explaining that she's like a jasmine flower who is very lonely, kind of hides within the grass and keeps to himself. And then, by the end, grows a little more confident. They come out of the grass and they don't hide as much. And yeah, there's not much text, but that's the kind of general gist of that.
That's neat. It sounds like the introverts aria.
It kind of is. Yeah, a little bit.
That's fascinating.
For sure. Yeah, I can see that.
So how did you find out about the Young Artist Program that Virtuosi has? It's a long running program. I think it's so great, and I'm obviously relatively new to it.
Yeah.
I'd love to hear what that process was like for you.
Yeah, so I hadn't heard, or no, I think I'd heard about it before, but I didn't know exactly what it was. It was fall semester of this year, so 2021, because I'm in my third year of my degree now. And I got an email from Mel Braun, who had said, I think that you would be great for this. You should send in a tape and audition. So I would credit it to Mel Braun for just putting me forward and just showing me what it's all about. I recorded my videos and I sent them in, and they had given me a slot to do January 16th, but obviously COVID was still ever apparent at that point, so it got postponed. But yeah, it was Mel, good old Mel Brown.
And I have to say for you to adjust, because I think it only came about within the last couple of weeks that this new date was offered to you
Yeah,
because of all those COVID cancellations and everything. And it was reminding me of at some point when I was a music student, I was in a seminar and someone was telling us about often the opportunities that you have are things you can't plan for. So it's this, like,
totally.
I mean, in a way you were ready because you were ready to perform in January, but now it's April, and as a player, as a musician, you don't always have everything, you can't keep all of your repertoire right at the top, so that I found your readiness to take this on at short notice really professional. So it's I find it, this program in a way is sort of interesting. It's this, you are performing and behaving like in a professional context as a student.
Totally.
So it's, yeah, I think it's a great opportunity. And I was really impressed with your response to, such an unusual year and plans changing in a way that we weren't really used to in the past. Usually it would be if someone was ill or something, you would be asked to step in at the last minute. But this happens so much more now as plans change all the time. So
Absolutely.
yeah, so I'm so pleased that you're going to be there. And
Yeah,
Megan
I'm pleased to
well.
be there myself.
I'm really looking forward to the performance. For everyone listening, reminder, this is April 2nd. It's this Saturday at 7:30 p.m., 6:45 if you want to come to toast Harry Strub in advance. Tickets can be bought on our website, virtuosiconcerts.ca, and also at the door. And for students, all students, there's $10 tickets at the door if you come. We're not super strict about it, but around 20 minutes before the concert. The idea is that we would just love to fill up the hall with as many students as possible. So I'll see you there. Thanks, Alice.
Yeah, thank you.